Hi everybody, I'm back, he who knits. It is me, Steve. Um, Today wanted to do a video about sweaters. So if you have checked me out on Instagram, then you know that I posted pictures of 4 sweater projects that I am currently working on. Crazy, ambitious, who knows. But here we are, yes, 4 sweaters. If you watched one of my previous videos, I told you that I had done a sweater, I finished it, and I was not really happy at all with the way it turned out. Sizing, all this stuff was just, I wasn't happy, I was discouraged, and I kind of maybe made the exclamation that I wrote off sweaters at the time, but certainly not the case. So here I want to show you the 4 different sweaters that I'm currently working on right now. And so the first one is the one that I started first, and of course I am further on this one than any of the others, stands to reason. So this one is going to be a cabled sweater. It's technically called a Donegal sweater. It's got kind of a shawl neck when all is said and done. And so what we have is, yeah, there we go. So here's the back. The back is done. And you can see this is kind of a heathered, purplish type of color. And I'm using this Plymouth Homestead tweed, kind of a medium weight type of yarn, if the camera focuses there. So really soft. I love this. It's going to be some intricate cabling on the front. The back is done. The back's always easy. And this is going to be done in front, back, and then sleeves, and then attach it all together. So sweater number 1, there you go. You can see I've started the front, so I've got ribbing. And that's about where we're at on this one. Sweater number 2 is, let me pull this down out of my progress cart here. So sweater number 2 is a Fair Isle type of sweater, and this might be the most ambitious one that I'm working on because I'm using a basic sweater pattern, but I am adding in from this huge book of motifs. I'm adding in kind of designing my own sweater. So far so good. We'll see how it goes. But here's what it looks like so far. And so what I've accomplished so far, and also just to let you know, you can be able to see this pretty obviously, but this is a circular project rather than doing the front and the back and then attaching them. And this is the first sweater that I've done on circular needles. So kind of interesting. I don't hate it. I thought I would hate it. I'm not generally a fan. So this is using Rowan felted tweed. There you go. Bunch of different colors of this. And what we have so far here, maybe I'll turn it the other way so you can see right side. So it's got this kind of navy ribbing, and then you can see I'm actually done with the first motif. It's kind of the snowflake pattern, and I'm into the second, which is using that same icy blue, but with an orange. And then that's how I decided that I want the colors to go. As I do different motifs up the sweater, I'm going to keep one of the colors from the current motif, use it in the next one, but bring a different color in and kind of go up that way. See how it looks. Like I said, it's kind of a creative project, almost completely of my own doing, other than a very basic idea of what this sweater should measure out to. So I used a basic pattern to help me with that, but otherwise, there's that. And that is actually that's a DK weight yarn, so that's the thinnest yarn that I'm working with, and I anticipate that one taking the longest of any of my sweaters. So sweater project number 3. Let me pull this out of the bag here. This one is actually a cardigan. And I do have a picture. So it's a cabled cardigan, again with kind of a shawl collar. that's what it looks like, the pattern. I'm not using that color. Instead, I'm using one of my favorite yarns, sadly discontinued, from Purl Soho, Big Good Wool. And I contacted them and I snatched up every last bit of this wool that they had laying around. I'll show you a hank of it. So pretty big. It smells nice, natural, sheepy. Purl Soho. Again, I don't know what they've replaced this with, but they don't have it anymore. And here's what I've got. This one, pretty intricate, but this is a chunky yarn. So it shouldn't take as long. But again, since it's a cardigan, I'm doing the back right now. I'm gonna then have to do each side of the front, then each arm separately. So a little bit of extra work in there. But without sliding this off my needles, you can kind of see the pattern developing a little bit there. And just to note, yes, that's a different color. I had this kind of cream colored Big Good Wool from another project. So I decided I'm going to do the ribbing in this color, as you can see there. And then the rest of it is, it's technically, I forget what they called it, some kind of gray, driftwood gray, something like that. So there's that one. And finally, the most recently started project, I just barely started on this one. So there's not as much done here. This is going to be my first Icelandic sweater, like that. This one also circular needles. And I actually got, let's see if I can pull out one of these for you. Some Lopi yarn. Right there it is. So that main white color that you saw in the picture I showed you, that's what that's going to be. And I'm working with gray right now. You can see this is it almost reminds me, and I'm pretty sure this is just sheep wool. But it almost reminds me of an alpaca because it's a little hairy. But I like it. It's soft. It's going to be warm. And this one is a little bit thicker too. It's almost right around your chunky. So even though it's got that pattern in it, it's not really a complicated pattern, and it's in the round, or it's a circular needle. So I don't think it's going to take me as long. So if I had to guess, the order that I'm going to finish these sweaters in is probably, this one could catch up and win. I just think it's going to be a really quick knit. The cardigan with the Big Good Wool, again, I think that's going to end up being pretty quick too. And then that leaves me with the other two. Wow, they're going to be close. I'll tell you what, even though I have the complete back done on that purple sweater, the front is a very, very, very intricate cabling. So I have a feeling that's going to take a while. And I've already got a decent start on the Fair Isle sweater. And even though that's a more complicated pattern, thinner yarn, I think that's going to go a little bit faster. So we'll have to see which one ends up being the winner out of all of these. I do not have a sweater plan for after these four, because I think I'm going to need a break when that's all done. I have a couple other things I'm working on. I'm going to make another video of some kind of themed knitting that I have going on. I'll show you that sometime soon, but make sure you check out my Instagram to see. I'm going to keep posting the progress on all of these sweaters on there, so you get to see kind of how they grow. Also, I'm planning on another trip to my favorite yarn store, Ubiquitous, in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to see if I can do a little in-store video, just to kind of give you an idea of how awesome a shop it is in case you happen to be around this area. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.